Good morning, afternoon, evening, whenever you're watching this. Maybe you're watching it right now as I'm doing it, which is at the beginning of this really wonderful earthy weekend, in the last weekend in April, the first weekend in May, when we have the new moon in Taurus coming up on Saturday, April 30th, and the 30th, April 30th, is also Arbor Day, where we honor trees and we plant trees, which is, we know how important that is. And then on May 1st, the next day, is May Day, is Beltane, as it's called in ancient Celtic times. So just a little overview. I'm Deborah Roth from Spirited Living, and welcome back, or welcome to my Inner Goddess Team videos that I've been doing here each week for a while, since the summer of the pandemic, so 2020. You can see a whole bunch of them if you go to my website. You could go to my website, but probably better if you go to my YouTube channel if you're watching this on Instagram or somewhere else. Subscribe to my channel, just Deborah Roth. And you can also there, on that version of the video, you can click on the eye in the upper right-hand corner, and that will tell you a little bit more about what this is all about. Why am I doing these Inner Goddess Team videos? What is the divine feminine? And I was drawn, it's work that I've done for years and years, because our world, Earth, not only Mother Earth herself, but every country needs, every faith tradition needs to come back to the qualities of the divine feminine. And watch the extra video that I've done about that rather than going through it all here. So this week's wonderful goddess is a Celtic one, but she's kind of found in a bunch of different places. And she is to honor this time of year. The trees, the Taurus being this very earthy sign, and I'm actually going to be doing my first live new moon circle here in New York City on Sunday, May 1st, right on May Day. And we will be talking about May Day. We'll be talking about this earthy, sensual, Mother Earth loving, Mother Nature loving energy that Taurus represents. And if you look at my May Day, I've done several different May Day videos over the years. And if you look at the one a year ago, you'll know more about Beltane. I'm actually not going to go into Beltane or May Day, which has such rich, beautiful lore around it, with this particular video. So go check those out. But what I am so drawn to do, and when I did all my research and discovered that Nemetona is the goddess we're looking at, and one of her celebrations is this time of year, and how perfect, because as I look out my window, there's a big wind blowing, you may be hearing it, and trees are blossoming, everything's coming out in this beautiful, lusty month of May that we're approaching. She is the Celtic goddess, the British goddess of the sacred grove. And reading about her, learning about her, because I really didn't know much about her, which is ironic, because those of you that know me know I'm such a tree person. It's my favorite place to meditate, is to sit up with my back against a tree, sun shining on my face, dappled light coming through the leaves. Any kind of tree will do. And sacred groves. I joke that I have a sacred grove right outside my apartment building on 99th Street. There's this sweet little cluster of trees there. So she reminded me, reading about her, of Vesta, or Hestia, who was the Greek version of Vesta, the Roman goddess of the hearth, because there aren't lots of images of her. It's more of a presence. And Nemetona represents the presence of the sacred land. She's a little bit nebulous, and in fact, one of my favorite places that I go to research and learn about different goddesses around the world is a site called Journeying to the Goddess, and the woman who writes there talks about the fact that Nemetona, while we can trace her, we don't have too many images of her. She is one of those ones that probably started in France, and as the Romans conquered things going north, eventually made her way to to the British Isles. And she was originally shown sitting on a throne with a scepter, which sounds more Roman than earthy Celtic. And so I loved finding this beautiful representation of her by an artist named Selena Fennick, and really captures, all the Celtic crosses and knots. And she is the tree. She is the grove. So she's said to be, her themes are, she is said to be, her themes are wishes and protection. Of course, we know trees are all about protection, fairies, magic, good luck, nature. And she's connected particularly with hawthorne trees, which is the tree that it's said that the maypoles were originally fashioned from. And I try to use, the few times that I've had to get a maypole, which is a fun thing to do in New York City, believe me. I go down to the gardening district and look for, and they do, I'm not sure if they still have them, but hawthorne trees are the ones that were typically used, the trunks that were typically used for maypoles. And they're about sensuality and connecting with the earth. So she's said to be, let me look at some of my notes, because as I said, she's a new one for me. And I loved this from this site. She stands over, she guards groves of trees with a special protective presence that marks the area as a sacred site. Within this space, the soul is hushed and calm, becoming one with nature and the goddess. And her name, Nemetona, actually means apparently shrine. So think about that the next time you're sitting under a tree, like I want to do. You are literally sitting in a sacred space. And there are so many, because I'm a tree person, get in touch with me if you want me to give you all the tree resources I have. There's people that have just done beautiful work in saving the trees and in some of the ancient forests, connecting and communicating with trees. I'm going to sing for you a chant that's a new chant for me about trees that I found that I just love. So I'll sing that at the end. So I'll read the other piece that I love. I just thought it was so poetic on this journeying to the goddess that I found. She is sacred space, whether that's found within the majestic trees of the grove or if it's held simply within one's heart. She is holy breath, the sanctuaries we create, not out of stone and mortar, but out of love and reverence. She's the sacred link between ourselves and the living planet, but not in a consuming way, but more in an intimate way, which is one of the things I love about sitting under a tree. Is I have a whole tree meditation, which sometime I'll share with you, but it would feel weird to do it unless I was sitting against a tree. So I may have to wait to do that. But one of the ways that you can carry her energy with you is to find a hawthorn tree, really any tree, but carry a piece of them, whether it's a twig or a leaf or something with you. But hawthorn in particular symbolizes happiness and brings on good luck. Now, what's interesting is that she is often associated with Mars, with the god Mars, who is the god of war, which seems kind of incongruous for this lovely, protectress of sacred groves. But then apparently there was a pairing of her with a Celtic god called Mars Rigonemetis, which is king of the sacred grove. And it's thought that he was one of those yearly kings, how you have to, sacrifice a king every year to and let his blood flow into the earth for that sacred marriage to create new fertility for the year to come. And that this Rigonemetis was the guardian of the sacred grove and the guardian of the sacred mother and the wellspring of life, which is Nemetona. And this Celtic version of Mars, while I think he also had a connection to war, he was also a god of protection and healing and agriculture, which fits in with the whole tree theme. So that's what I know about Nemetona. And I just, if you're a tree person like I am, I really encourage you to, like I said, reach out to me and I'll give you some of my favorite tree resources and how, with Arbor Day coming up on the same day as the Taurus new moon on April 30th, how can you give back? Where can you plant a seed? How can you honor the nature divas in some of your own favorite sacred groves? I've got them in my parks, in Central Park and Riverside Park, right here in the city. Where can you do that? So that's your kind of homework for how to connect with this. And to think about, where in your life do you want to bring more groundedness and more earth connection, more connection with the Earth Mother? Maybe it's just as simple as having a plant in your office, or in your more plants in your living environment. So that's your call to action this week. And please subscribe, please come back. And I want to sing you this tree chant that I found. Let's see if I can get the tune close to what she was doing. So, and I will include the link to this YouTube video in the description. And it's called "My Roots Go Down." It's written by and sung, I guess, written and sung by someone named Annie Patterson. That's another divinely feminine principle, to always be sure that you acknowledge the women and the people that offer up their gifts and for something like this. So here's this one. My roots go down, down into the earth. My roots go down, down into the earth. My roots go down, down into the earth. My roots go down. I am a willow bending in the wind. I am a willow bending in the wind. I am a willow bending in the wind. My roots go down. My roots go down, down into the earth. My roots go down, down into the earth. My roots go down, down into the earth. My roots go down. I am an acorn waiting to be born. I am an acorn waiting to be born. I am an acorn waiting to be born. My roots go down. My roots go down, down into the earth. My roots go down, down into the earth. My roots go down, down into the earth. My roots go down. I am an oak tree, tall and bold. I am an oak tree, tall and bold. I am an oak tree, tall and bold. My roots go down. My roots go down, down into the earth. My roots go down, down into the earth. My roots go down, down into the earth. My roots go down. My roots go down, down into the earth. My roots go down, down into the earth. My roots go down, down into the earth. My roots go down. Isn't that sweet? Thank you for listening. Go off and sing that song. It's definitely catchy. Sing that chant as you celebrate a tree nearby and celebrate your connection to the Earth Mother. Bye for now. Have a wonderful week. Have a beautiful new moon in Taurus, Arbor Day, and Beltane May Day. Blessings. Bye for now.